Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about the topic of confidence and how to boost your confidence, a couple different things that you can do so that you can improve your self-confidence and, love yourself more and just like feel better in your own skin. First thing that I wanted to share is affirmation. So I've mentioned in the past that I like to practice affirmations every morning so that I can really set myself up for success throughout the day. And I feel like practicing affirmations can also be a great way for you to start feeling more confident in your own skin. So saying things like, I am confident, for example, is one of them that you can start practicing every day. Or, I love my, and then something that normally is an insecurity, you can start like bringing it up in like a positive way. Or highlighting other things that you actually already really love about yourself. So if for some reason, I don't know, your favorite thing about yourself is your arms. So you can say, I love my arms, I love how strong my arms are, things like that. Start focusing on all the positive things and highlight that and celebrate that every day. And start really just like reminding yourself and being, positively affirmed that you are great and that you are confident and that you have all the tools that you need for that. You can write down affirmations, you can say them in front of the mirror, you can say them in front of a camera, like whatever you feel more comfortable with, but just start practicing them and you'll start seeing like the results over time. Obviously, like at first, if you've never practiced affirmations or if you're not used to speaking to yourself kindly, which unfortunately is very common, at first it might feel a little bit weird. You might just be like, this is so awkward, I don't believe this, like all these things. And honestly, like don't like force yourself into it if it's not working. If there's something that you really like dislike about yourself or something that you're feeling really insecure about and it's just not going to feel genuine to say I am or I love or all these things, then don't say it. Like I said, start with something that you are already, confident about in yourself or like something that you already love about yourself and start just like building up from there until you can start loving all the other areas of your life and of your body and everything that you may not feel as confident in. Another tip I wanted to share is to stop seeking external validation. So this means, if you're posting on social media and you're just like worried about the likes, or if you're thinking that whenever somebody compliments you, that means that you're good enough at something. So stop, seeking that validation from other people and start like finding it within yourself. So if for some reason, posting on social media is all about like getting enough likes, and if you get a certain amount of likes, then it means for you that you're good enough. Stop that. Like take a social media break, hide your like count, whatever's gonna make you feel better, but definitely stop putting all your, self-worth into what other people think. The truth of the matter is that not everybody's gonna like you. I mean, at the end of the day, ask yourself, and do you really like every single person that you meet? The answer is most likely no. And that's okay, because we don't like everybody that we meet, and we can't expect that everybody's going to like us. That's really just how the way that things work, and I know it sounds so harsh sometimes for me to just be like, sorry, not everybody's gonna like you, but that's just the way that things are. Become okay with the idea that not everybody will like you, and you'll be so much better off, because you're not gonna worry so much about like, does this person like me, what is this person thinking about me, and all these other things, and instead you just start worrying about yourself, which is all you should be doing anyway. A physical way that you can make yourself feel a little bit more confident, and I know it sounds silly, is to just really check your posture. So sometimes we're just like slouching, or just like our arms are crossed and we're just kind of like, blocking our energy from receiving and from giving. And it sounds silly, but just the fact that like you can stand like straight, your arms back, your shoulders back, all straight, and then like your head looking forward, you're gonna feel so much better instantly. Like honestly, just try going from like slouching and being all like whatever to like I'm confident, like I got this, the world is my oyster. Is that how it goes? I'm somebody that like struggles with posture all the time because I'm like working from home, so I'm like sitting all over the place. Sometimes I'm working from my desk, sometimes I work from like the dining room, so I'm not always focused on my posture, and I can really feel it, because then I start kind of just being all like, like I start getting some like neck pains, and my whole body just starts feeling kind of like shut off, and I start feeling like this weird, I don't know, like lack of positive energy, I guess, in a way to describe it. So I just try to focus on like, opening my heart. Like that's honestly like a yoga practice, is really just doing some like opening your heart movements and just being a little bit more open and making sure that your shoulders are always up and back, and you just feel a little bit more confident right away. I know it really sounds silly, but just be mindful of your posture, the way that you're presenting yourself, because that's how it translates, your energy and the energy that you receive as well. Another way that you can boost your self-confidence is to spend time with yourself. So honestly, date yourself, get to know yourself, just like Be comfortable with the idea of being by yourself. You know, take yourself out on a coffee date, go to the movies, whatever it may be, whatever makes you happy, just do it on your own too. It's obviously super fun to do things with friends, with family, you know, with a significant other. It's always great. But at the end of the day, you gotta be comfortable with yourself and you gotta be comfortable with who you are. So start hanging out with yourself and know that you are good enough to hang out with yourself. Like, you can be your own best friend. You can be your own cheerleader. You know, you don't have to always rely on other people to feel better. You can do it yourself. And I think that that's just like something so powerful, is having the ability to just like go out and be on your own and buy yourself a cup of coffee, sit down and just like enjoy a moment by yourself without having to worry about anything else. That's something that I've struggled with a lot, is like eating by myself or like going somewhere by myself. I would always be kind of like, oh my God, people are judging me, people are doing this and that. And it really affected my confidence, even just thinking like that. But then I started thinking it as more like, I'm just gonna go and enjoy my own company. And sometimes I just like people watching, or I mean, I haven't really done much of like outside spending time with myself just because of the past year and everything. I'm trying to like not limit, or like limit how much time I spend outside and around other people. But just being at home, sometimes I'll just like get a movie, do my own nails, and whatever makes me feel, you know, like happy and like I'm comfortable with myself, I always enjoy that. So it's like a little bit like of a home date night, I guess, for myself, and that's fine. But I really do encourage you to find a way to just become comfortable with who you are and spending time with yourself. Next tip is to wear clothes that you feel confident in. So I know it sounds silly. Maybe you're like, I don't feel confident, so I don't feel confident in any clothes, but I doubt that that's true. I bet that there's at least one piece of clothing in your closet that makes you feel good about yourself, confident in yourself, happy with the way that you look, and I encourage you to wear that. So just start wearing things that you feel confident in and comfortable in. Like, there's been a lot of times where I'll wear something that I know I just like don't feel confident in, and it's awful. It ruins my entire evening. I just can only think about the way that I look, and it just becomes this like downward spiral of just like negativity. So first of all, stop wearing things that you don't feel confident in. If you don't like it, if you don't feel good in like, you know, wearing that, don't wear it. There's no reason why you have to do it. And on the flip side, start wearing things that you feel confident in and comfortable in and like you feel good. And you'll start seeing how much like that really affects your self-confidence and your self-esteem, and it just really like gives you that boost that you need to go out and be like, yeah, I look good today and I'm just gonna like rock it. I'm not entirely sure on how many tips we're at so far, but the next one is very important. So it is to watch your thoughts. What you believe to be true is true. I've heard that so many times and it resonates every single time because it is true. Whatever you're thinking, you know, whatever your mind is going towards, that's what's generating your reality. And the truth of the matter is that life is all about perception. So obviously, like, everybody has their own reality and everybody has their own way of seeing things, and every experience is different. You know, that's why we always say there's two sides of a story, because the way that I see things is different than the way that somebody else does. And the way that I see things is creating my reality, and the way that somebody else sees things is creating their reality. Which is why it's so important to just realize that your mind is the one that's creating your reality, your perspective, and everything, and you have the power to change that. That is just like one of the most fascinating things, in my opinion, is the fact that you can control your mind and you can control what you give attention to and the outcome. If you start focusing on the negative side of a situation, all you're gonna see is the negative side of it. Like, you're not gonna see any sort of learnings, growth, opportunities, nothing. Everything is gonna be just like, you know, the dark side of things. Whereas if you start shifting that into more of a positive side and just like focus on what you can be learning from a situation or a good outcome that still, you know, happen out of that, you can grow so much and learn so much and just become so much better. So just be mindful of your thoughts and, you know, what you're saying, what you're thinking, where your attention is going, because where attention goes, energy flows. So remember, that is literally, like, if there's anything out of this video that you take, I want you to be very mindful of what you're thinking and how you're interpreting situations and how that is actually affecting your confidence, because you might be in a, you know, in a room with 10 people and they might all be staring at you thinking really positive things, but you're taking it as like, these people are all judging me, they're saying all these negative things, whatever. Your confidence is just gonna go way down. You're gonna start acting just based on like those insecurities. It's just not gonna be good. Whereas like these people are actually saying positive things about you, you can just take it like that, whether you know that or not. You can just take it as all these people are looking at me and saying great things about me, and I'm just gonna like take all the positivity and feel so much better, and you will see like that confidence boost instead. Doesn't matter what other people are saying. Remember, like that external validation, that's not what matters. What matters is how you're feeling. So listen to your thoughts, listen to what you're saying to yourself every day, listen to, you know, what you're surrounding yourself with in terms of like your mind, and start changing that to be a little bit more positive. Along with watching, you know, your thoughts and what you think, I would also consider watching what you're consuming. So social media, shows, you know, whatever it may be, all your surroundings. Make sure that you're only consuming things that are making you feel better. So if you are following somebody on Instagram, let's say, that every time you see their post, you just feel like you're not good enough, you feel like you wish you were like them, but you're not, and you start going on this like negative self-talk, I encourage you to mute them or unfollow them, because that's just not serving you. We live in a, like our generation, the generation after us, we've grown up pretty much with social media. You know, I mean, we've all definitely grown up with the internet, and because of that, we now have access to social media, and that has created so many mental health issues. Like there's so much research showing that mental health is affected by social media and the things that we consume every day. So I do encourage you to, you know, just every once in a while, one, do a social media detox. Like it is so helpful to just disconnect, unplug from your phone, your social media networks, everything, and just spend time with yourself. Again, take yourself on a date, but also kind of do an audit of who you're following and how these people are making you feel. So if you do, like if you're scrolling on your social media and you see an account that you are like, wow, every time I see this account, like every time I see this person posting, I just feel like I'm not good enough. I feel like I just like start comparing myself, and it just goes into this negativity. I'm telling you right now, you gotta cut that. You gotta like mute that person if you don't wanna unfollow. But if you do feel comfortable unfollowing, then just do it. At the end of the day, you know, people's social media profiles are, they're allowed to post whatever they want. And it's up to us to decide if what they're posting is serving us or not. So don't worry about whatever the other person is doing, just worry about how that is affecting you. And if it's affecting you negatively, cut it off. The same thing goes with TV. You know, if you're watching certain like news channels that are not making you feel good, if you're watching like certain like movies that are not making you feel good, anything that's like triggering you, just like bringing you down, just stop watching it. There's no reason why you have to do it. So just say no to that. Be aware of the type of content that you're consuming and how it's making you feel, so that you can then decide what's best for you. Okay, and lastly, and this might be a little controversial, just fake it till you make it. Honestly, I'm a big believer that if you start living life as if you already had something or felt a certain way, you'll start attracting that. And so that's why I believe that if you start like acting like you are a very confident person, you'll become one. It might be a little bit like awkward at first, like you might be kind of like, I don't know what I'm doing, this feels so like out of character. Just keep going, trust me. Like sometimes when I'm not feeling confident, I'm like, forget it, I'm just gonna pretend that I am. And I just like feel like I'm ruling this world, and I totally deep down don't feel that way at all, but like I try to like portray that image, and people like feel like I am confident, so they start treating me differently, and then I all of a sudden start believing like, oh wow, okay, so I am confident and everything is great, and then you just start naturally feeling more confident. I know it sounds weird, it's not the best tip per se. It might not always like make you fully like change it, because at the end of the day you have to work on so many things internally to be able to genuinely feel confident in your own skin. But I do think that it is one of those things that can get you there. It's like with affirmations, you know, like the more you start saying them, the more you start believing them, and you start like acting as if you were already that way, and it just becomes part of you. So that's the same concept pretty much. It's just like start acting as if you were already super confident, and you'll have it, trust me. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that you can apply some of these tips to your everyday life, and if you have some tips to become more confident or something that has worked for you, please drop it in the comment section, because I would love to read some of them. If you like this video, please give it a like, a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. See you next time.